Splatterhouse's development has been its own little horror movie as it bounced between developers over the last 4 years. Now, it's finally here, but like a horror movie villain, its troubled childhood has left it antisocial and broken. Between poor level design, boring combat, and lame attempts at shocking content, Splatterhouse is a mess.
What the hell is that?
At first, Splatterhouse seems kinda cool. While the Lovecraft-inspired tentacle horrors and the like are kinda tired, there's a goofiness at play that takes the edge off. Splatterhouse recalls movies like Evil Dead, Night of the Demons, and other VHS horror classics from the 80s. The story is simple enough. A mad, dark god-worshipping scientist has stolen your girlfriend, and you make a deal with a possessed mask to get her back. Nobody said Splatterhouse was fine literature. Splatterhouse is gory. Really, really gory. Enemies are disemboweled, decapitated, beaten with severed limbs, and, well, other unpleasant things. It's not for the squeamish. It might actually be the goriest game I've ever played. Unfortunately, it's also full of frame rate and camera problems that hurt the experience something fierce. The soundtrack is just sort of there, which is too bad given the inclusion of bands like Mastodon and Lamb of God. Like many of the creatures in the game, Splatterhouse's presentation has a hard time keeping it together. Splatterhouse follows the standard third-person action game formula. Heavy and light attacks, upgradable moves and combos, waves of fodder enemies, they're all here. What isn't here are good controls. Movement and combos feel sluggish and unresponsive. There are also side-scrolling sections harkening back to the original Splatterhouse, but the controls are even less responsive here, amidst a series of timing-based platforming hazards. Throw in some cheap hits from enemies and instant death platforming, and you've got a game that plays pretty badly. Let's be honest, Splatterhouse was always the video game equivalent of an exploitation flick. But, like so many horror remakes of the last few years, little of the original Splatterhouse's charm has been left intact. The half-baked mechanics and graphic content can't make up the difference. For more on Splatterhouse, check out IGN.com.